Hi everyone. As you heard from Cameron Mamadani, sea piracy is a rising international security issue, but it is also a national security issue in PNG. Sea piracy is happening in PNG as we speak. As you can see from the diagram, those four figures illustrates the areas where sea piracy is occurring regularly. So in this discussion, we will look at the introduction of sea piracy in PNG, the factors that contributes to sea piracy in PNG. We will look at some case studies and then short conclusion. So Papua New Guinea is a developing country which puts national security issues like sea or maritime piracy a huge concern for its citizens living along the coast. The exclusive economic zone covers areas of interest such as Bismarck Sea, Solomon Sea, Gulf of Papua, Torres Straits, and the maritime border with Solomon Islands, where acts of piracy happen a lot. That is according to the globalsecurity.org 2020. Piracy is the term given to a crime that is committed at sea. Crime is defined as an illegal act where the offender can be punished by the government for violation of instituted laws. That is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary 2020. On the other hand, according to the Article 101 of the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Seas, sea piracy is defined as an illegal act committed at sea. The most common crimes committed at sea in PNG today include armed robbery, killings, betel nut smuggling, etc. There are many reported cases regarding vulnerable citizens along the coasts of Milne Bay, Medang, and Morobe provinces vastly being affected by ongoing robberies at sea. Pirates intersect boats carrying passengers and cargo and rob them on gunpoint at sea. Cargoes include money, betel nut bags, accessories, and foods, just to name a few. However, robberies at sea using dinghies is one of the many illegal acts committed at sea. Others include transnational crimes like drug smuggling, human trafficking, money laundering, and vandalism. So all incidents of sea piracy will be discussed using Milne Bay, Medang, and Morobe province as case studies in the next slide. So as you can see from the image, we have the issue of sea piracy being raised in Parliament. So the people living in the small villages along the coast of these three provinces are heavily falling victims to sea pirates, according to many news reports. According to the National, on the 15 March 2016, Chief Inspector Gary Lincoln mentioned about the rise of sea piracy along the border of Morobe and Northern Province. Additionally, Gary stated that the Northerners taking betel nut to Lae were the victims of piracy from criminals who traveled from Lae to rob them at sea. In a post-Korea report, MP Charles Abel addressed the robbery incident that took place on the Mizima Island in Milne Bay province, where a same group of pirates were involved. That is according to Isaac Nicholas reported on the January 10, 2019. This means that sea piracy in the province is consistently caused by a same gang frequently. That is in Milne Bay. A Fijian missionary who was a victim reported that a gang of 10 masked men armed with guns and knives held up a small boat containing 13 passengers and stripped out the boat engine. So the passengers were not killed because they had a child with them and luckily contacted for help with a phone that was kept hidden. They traveled for 2 to 3 hours before rescue came, and the locals told the Fijian that they were lucky to be alive because incidents often occur regularly. That is according to RNZ News on the 4th of April 2017. According to another national article report, Medang PPC Superintendent Ben Nenel stated that criminals used boats to escape after committing robberies, and also elaborated on a case where youths between Karkwar and Rambi were held up at the sea by some sea pirates. Furthermore, according to MTV Online 2017, criminals used to escape using the sea after robbing business houses in Medang town and after and being a maritime provinces had experiences of sea piracy frequently. In a post-Korea article, Peter Guinness, the Northern Command Police Chief Assistant Commissioner, reported that during a sea piracy incident, there was a hijacking of a boat between Karkar and Kugubum where 3 people went missing at sea and 4 of the responsible pirates were arrested by the police. That is according to a DW journalism student on the December 19, 2019. Additionally, in another post-Korea article, Guinness elaborated that attack left 1 person dead that same attack and 4 missing were feared to be dead and other 4 swam to safety when they were rescued. Jeff Sefe and Georgina Corey, that is according to them on December 18, 2019. Thus, these are only some of the cases of sea piracy attacks from a vast number which is believed to be unreported to the police. There are various factors that contribute the incidence of sea piracy in PNG today. So, I've come to identify the 3. So, as you can see, those are the 3 factors. So, when we look back at PNG history, there is no such illegal acts committed at sea because in the past our people used the sea as trade routes. Sea piracy is an issue that arose in 2018. That is according to Cameron Mohamedani, who was the first presenter earlier, who is from Milan Bay province. So, since he is from one of the coastal provinces, he gives the statement. So the main cause of sea piracy is because of our not developing economy, but from the influence or the Western influence. The integration of the influence from the outside world with our developing economy contributes to sea piracy attacks in the coastal areas. In the past, our ancestors had no access to mobile phones, TV, weapons, or basically the influence of media. Pirates are likely to develop their mindset by watching a movie about sea pirates. For example, Pirates of the Caribbean. That is a common movie where Jack Sparrow leads a team of pirates to go rob ships, steal goods, gold, silver, etc. It is more like they can attract their skills and techniques of attack from what they watch, and the availability of a good network coverage due to advancement nationwide enables pirates to communicate and plan an attack from anywhere. For example, in light to one of the cases that I mentioned above, where the Fijian who was part of an incident reported that pirates had a good network, this means that a pirate from Alatau contacted his gang about the boat that was traveling, and it was easier for the pirates that were traveling in a boat to intercept the boat with 13 passengers quickly at sea. So that is this first factor. Okay, the second factor is the developing economy. In PNG, there are many people who are unemployed, which leads them to take part in criminal activities, where sea piracy happens to be one of them. According to the National, the high unemployment rate in PNG causes many crimes. Obviously, when people have no job, they are looking for means and ways to survive in a way to satisfy their needs and wants. In relation with the case studies, the pirates are usually aimed at stealing the cargoes that passengers carry. Similarly, the people traveling along the islands and Okuk highways face many roadblocks where criminals steal cargoes such as money and other valuables on gunpoints. This is the same. Roadblocks in the road and sea piracy, they are the same, but the only difference is that sea piracy happens at sea and roadblocks happens in the road. So during an interview with a pirate from Medan, when asked about why they commit sea piracy, he generally answered, "Sea piracy is our only way to make money since there are no police to intercept and arrest us. Sometimes we kill the people who try to retaliate because we make living out of committing the act of piracy." That is the actual statement I am quoting from one of the sea pirates in Medan. So that is that. That is the second factor. Okay, the third factor, the sea. When we look at the sea has no house, no people living in it, no crops growing on it, but it is a huge area of open water. The fact that there is less monitoring by the police, patrol boats, and other authorities makes It's simpler for pirates to attack. The economic exclusive zone of PNG is 5,153 kilometers of coastline and 2.7 million square kilometers, which puts the area vulnerable to international arms and drug smuggling and piracy. In order to minimize such activities, regular maritime surveillance to enforce regulations and intercept and arrest offenders are needed, but are not effectively carried out by the responsible governing bodies. That is according to globalsecurity.org 2020. According to Charles Yapuni, on the August 24, 2016, in a report, the Water Police Unit lacked resources in combating sea piracy. There was no funding to the police department from the NEC due to several constraints. As a result, act of piracy was reported to be mostly occurring in the seas of Alata, Morobe, and Medeng, and other maritime provinces. Charles Yapuni, on the that is according to Charles Yapuni, on the August 24, 2016, in an interview with one of the police officers at Jomba Police Station, when asked about his views on sea piracy in Medeng and what the police are doing to combat this issue in the province, he replied, and I quote, "We have the manpower, but we need logistics. Our heads are not running sea piracy operations, and we do not have full conditions police boats to chase offenders. The two police boats need maintenance and have broken down, which makes it difficult for the police to combat sea piracy." End of quote. Thus, for many other news articles, the concern of boats needed by the police to carry out operations and patrols were stated. According to such the police officer, he mentioned raised an important question, and I quote, "Why should we risk our lives to chase offenders when we do not have proper logistics?" End of quote. In regards, this can be the mindset that other police officers of other maritime provinces have, which now puts act of piracy to increase regularly in the coastal provinces of PNG. Pirates use the weak spots of the police as an advantage to commit sea piracy in Milan Bay, Medeng, Morobe, and other coastal provinces of Papua New Guinea. There are laws, strategies, and policies in place to combat sea piracy, but proves to be ineffective. This will be discussed further in the next seminars. Sorry, not next seminars, but next sessions that we will be discussing next week. Now, to conclude, sea piracy is affecting human security along the coastal provinces in PNG. I won't make any solid conclusion right here, because the part for conclusion will come next week. So, in the discussions next week, we will talk more about the governing bodies, the laws and strategies in place to combat this issue, give our recommendations, and both nationally and internationally, and then give a conclusion. That is all. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you learn something about sea piracy from a global and national perspective. Thank you very much. Please stay tuned for the discussions that will be coming next week.